Ninja Assassin is a high-octane, visually striking action thriller released in 2009, representing a collaboration between American and German film production houses. It was produced by Joel Silver, the Wachowskis, and Grant Hill, with James McTeague, who had previously directed V for Vendetta, at the helm. The movie was filmed primarily in Berlin, Germany, a choice that allowed for the combination of modern cityscapes with meticulously designed sets replicating traditional Japanese ninja fortresses. The film aimed to modernize the classic ninja archetype, bringing it into a contemporary setting with a unique blend of stylistic violence, choreography, and a dark, almost mythological narrative. The central focus of the film is the story of Raizo, an orphan child who is abducted and raised by the mysterious and extremely secretive Ozuna clan, a shadowy organization that produces some of the world's most lethal assassins. From a very young age, Raizo is subjected to brutal training regimens designed to erase any human emotions and instill absolute obedience. The film takes viewers into the heart of this hidden world, exploring the dynamics of loyalty, betrayal, and revenge. The Ozuna clan's philosophy is simple yet terrifying: children are molded into living weapons, and any hint of weakness or empathy is ruthlessly punished. Raizo quickly emerges as one of their most skilled operatives, demonstrating near superhuman agility, strength, and precision. His ascension within the clan is marked not by comfort or reward but by increasingly harsh trials, including witnessing the execution of fellow trainees. A pivotal moment in Raizo's life occurs when a young girl in the clan begins questioning their methods. She exhibits vulnerability and compassion, qualities that are completely forbidden in the Ozuna hierarchy. Her subsequent execution becomes a turning point for Raizo, igniting a profound sense of injustice and planting the seeds of rebellion that will define his character arc throughout the film. This sequence is emblematic of the movie's approach to storytelling, where emotional trauma and action are intertwined to drive character motivation. Parallel to Raizo's journey is the story of Mika Coretti, a dedicated Europol investigator who becomes embroiled in the global reach of the Ozuna clan. Mika's work involves tracing a series of politically motivated assassinations that, on the surface, appear random but are intricately linked by hidden financial and logistical networks. Her investigation gradually uncovers the existence of the Ozuna clan, placing her directly in the path of the assassins and, eventually, leading to her fateful encounter with Raizo. The interplay between Raizo and Mika is central to the narrative, as it humanizes the otherwise hyper-violent story by providing a civilian perspective. Mika represents morality, justice, and investigative persistence, contrasting sharply with Raizo's trained lethality. When the Ozuna clan targets her, Raizo intervenes, marking the beginning of an uneasy alliance that is built on mutual necessity rather than trust. The film's action sequences are heavily stylized, with choreographed sword fights, shuriken throws, and acrobatic maneuvers that often border on superhuman. These sequences are enhanced by visual effects and rapid editing, creating a kinetic energy that dominates much of the film. One of the most memorable sequences occurs during Raizo's infiltration of the Ozuna fortress, where he faces dozens of elite ninja operatives in a series of hallways, rooftops, and ceremonial chambers. This sequence is meticulously crafted, with attention to lighting, rain effects, and camera angles, emphasizing both the brutality and artistry of the martial arts depicted. The cinematography combines a dark, rain-soaked palette with neon-lit urban environments, creating a signature visual style that underscores the film's tone, a fusion of mythological past and technological present. Raizo's character development is central to the narrative, moving from a loyal, obedient assassin to a rogue operative seeking vengeance. His internal struggle is portrayed through both physical confrontations and moments of introspection, such as his recollections of childhood trauma within the clan. The movie does not shy away from depicting the psychological cost of such extreme training, emphasizing themes of loss, identity, and moral awakening. The climax of the film involves a coordinated assault on the Ozuna clan's mountain fortress. Europol agents join forces with Raizo to dismantle the clan's operations. This sequence is notable for its combination of high-tech weaponry and ancient ninja combat, highlighting the contrast between modern law enforcement and timeless martial arts skills. The final duel between Raizo and Lord Ozuna serves as both a literal and symbolic confrontation, representing the culmination of Raizo's journey from subjugation to liberation. The resolution emphasizes themes of freedom, justice, and the possibility of choosing one's own path despite past traumas. The casting choices contribute significantly to the film's impact. Rain, a South Korean pop star and martial artist, brings both physical credibility and a brooding presence to the role of Raizo. His training for the role involved intensive martial arts practice and stunt work, ensuring authenticity in the fight sequences. Naomie Harris delivers a compelling performance as Mika Koretti, balancing vulnerability with determination. Sho Kosugi, a legend in ninja cinema, embodies Lord Ozuna with a commanding and menacing presence, paying homage to the classic ninja films of the 1980s. Supporting cast members, including Ben Miles and Rick Yoon, provide depth and complement the central narrative without detracting from the intense focus on Raizo's journey. The film's music, composed by Elon Eshkari, blends electronic elements with orchestral arrangements, heightening the tension and drama of action sequences. The soundtrack complements the visual style, particularly during high-speed combat, where music and movement synchronize to create an immersive experience. Upon its release on November 25, 2009, Ninja Assassin received mixed critical reviews. Critics praised the action choreography, visual style, and Rain's physical performance, but some noted that the narrative relied heavily on violence over character development. Despite these critiques, the film found an audience among action and martial arts enthusiasts, who appreciated the return to stylized combat cinema and the integration of modern filmmaking techniques with traditional ninja mythology. The film grossed approximately $80 million worldwide against a $40 million budget, demonstrating modest commercial success and a dedicated fan base. Beyond its entertainment value, Ninja Assassin can be seen as an exploration of the human capacity for transformation under extreme circumstances. Raizo's evolution reflects broader questions about loyalty, morality, and the consequences of institutionalized violence. The movie's depiction of secretive organizations manipulating individuals for power resonates with universal themes of resistance and self-determination. In addition to the main narrative, the film offers subtle cultural references, including nods to classical Japanese martial arts philosophy, the symbolism of ninja weaponry, and the ethical dilemmas inherent in assassination as a profession. The visuals and set design reinforce these motifs, creating a world that is at once fantastical and grounded in recognizable human emotions. Overall, Ninja Assassin is a film that balances relentless action with a darkly compelling story of revenge and self-discovery. Its combination of skilled performances, innovative choreography, and immersive cinematography ensures its place as a notable entry in the modern action martial arts genre. The film successfully marries Eastern and Western cinematic traditions, offering audiences a high-stakes, emotionally charged experience that resonates long after the final battle concludes. The enduring appeal of the film lies in its ability to merge spectacle with character-driven storytelling, demonstrating that even in a narrative dominated by action, the exploration of human motivation and resilience remains central. Through Raizo's journey, the audience is invited to consider questions of morality, loyalty, and identity, all while being captivated by visually stunning combat sequences that push the boundaries of contemporary action cinema. The movie's influence can be seen in later action films that seek to blend martial arts authenticity with modern cinematic techniques, highlighting Ninja Assassin's role in shaping the aesthetic and narrative style of early 21st century action filmmaking. The film opens with a tense and visually striking depiction of Raizo's early life within the Ozuna clan. The camera lingers on dimly lit training halls where young Raizo is subjected to rigorous routines that combine physical endurance, martial arts precision, and mental conditioning. Each movement is designed to instill obedience and efficiency, emphasizing the lethal potential of the clan's disciples. The scene's stark lighting and tight framing convey a sense of entrapment, reflecting the oppressive nature of Raizo's upbringing. Even at a young age, Raizo demonstrates exceptional skill and determination, foreshadowing the prowess that will define him as an adult. These early sequences establish both the world and the rules that govern it, laying a foundation for the narrative's exploration of loyalty, control, and rebellion. A formative moment occurs when Raizo witnesses the execution of a fellow trainee who has failed a critical test. The brutal punishment underscores the clan's philosophy that emotions and attachments are liabilities. This scene contrasts sharply with fleeting moments of tenderness, such as Raizo's interactions with Kiriko, his close friend and confidant. Their secret exchanges and subtle gestures of camaraderie humanize Raizo, revealing a capacity for empathy that is at odds with the indoctrination he has endured. These early moments create tension, as viewers anticipate the eventual collision between Raizo's personal morality and the rigid code of the Ozuna clan. The filmmakers carefully balance the exposition with visual storytelling, allowing audiences to grasp the stakes without relying solely on dialogue. The first major turning point in Raizo's journey is Kiriko's execution, a moment charged with emotional intensity. The clan's decision to kill her for attempting to leave is both shocking and inevitable within their worldview. The filmmakers heighten the impact by juxtaposing the cold, methodical actions of the clan with Raizo's visible grief and outrage. This act of injustice catalyzes Raizo's defection, propelling the narrative into a series of high-stakes confrontations. His escape is depicted with a combination of swift, precise movements and creative use of the environment, establishing the film's signature kinetic style. The sequence is a masterclass in tension, blending narrative purpose with exhilarating physical performance. Upon fleeing the clan, Raizo enters the modern world, specifically the urban landscape of Berlin. The city becomes both a playground and a battleground, with rooftops, narrow alleyways, and industrial sites providing diverse arenas for combat. The filmmakers exploit these locations to stage inventive fight sequences, blending traditional martial arts techniques with parkour-inspired movement. Raizo's first encounter with Mika Coretti is both narrative and emotional, as it introduces a character whose perspective contrasts sharply with Raizo's violent upbringing. Their initial interactions are tense, reflecting mutual suspicion and differing worldviews. Mika, as a Europol agent investigating a series of high-profile assassinations, provides narrative grounding, connecting the film's martial arts spectacle to a broader criminal investigation and global stakes. Raizo and Mika's pursuit by the Ozuna clan accelerates the narrative into a series of escalating action sequences. Each confrontation is carefully choreographed to balance visual excitement with character development. The filmmakers employ dynamic camera movements, slow-motion sequences, and meticulous editing to capture the complexity of hand-to-hand combat and weapon use. Raizo's movements are fluid, precise, and adaptive, reflecting years of rigorous training while simultaneously revealing his evolving moral compass. Mika, while less physically formidable, demonstrates resourcefulness, intelligence, and resilience, ensuring that she remains an active participant in the narrative rather than a passive observer. Their collaboration underscores themes of trust, mutual reliance, and ethical decision-making in the face of relentless danger. A critical mid-film sequence involves Raizo confronting Takashi, a former clan comrade who embodies unquestioning loyalty to the Ozuna. The duel is both a physical and philosophical clash, highlighting the divergent paths that two individuals can take when faced with identical training and ideology. The choreography emphasizes agility, timing, and precision, with each strike and counterstrike carrying both narrative and emotional weight. The filmmakers utilize a combination of practical stunts and controlled wire work, maintaining realism while allowing for visually spectacular maneuvers. Cinematographically, the scene alternates between tight close-ups that capture emotion and wide-angle shots that showcase movement, providing a comprehensive view of both action and character tension. The film intersperses quieter moments between high-octane sequences to allow audiences to process the narrative and explore character motivations. Scenes of Raizo and Mika strategizing, sharing glimpses of their personal histories, or navigating urban obstacles serve to deepen engagement and provide respite from the relentless action. These interludes are critical to maintaining narrative coherence, as they ensure that viewers understand the stakes, the relationships, and the underlying moral conflicts that drive the story. Dialogue is used sparingly but effectively, emphasizing clarity, subtext, and emotional resonance. As the narrative progresses toward its climax, Raizo faces multiple Ozuna assassins in a series of tightly orchestrated battles. Each encounter escalates in complexity and intensity, incorporating varied environments, weaponry, and tactics. The filmmakers demonstrate a keen understanding of pacing, intercutting between simultaneous threats and maintaining narrative clarity despite the rapid succession of action. Raizo's skill and adaptability are on full display, as he navigates these life-threatening situations while protecting Mika and furthering his quest for vengeance. The choreography remains grounded in martial arts tradition, yet the cinematic techniques enhance spectacle and emphasize dramatic stakes. The final confrontation with Lord Ozuna serves as the narrative and thematic apex of the film. This duel is both personal and symbolic, representing Raizo's struggle against the ideological system that shaped and constrained him. The filmmakers use lighting, framing, and pacing to heighten tension, alternating between explosive action and intimate moments of character confrontation. Raizo's victory is depicted as both a physical triumph and a moral affirmation, reinforcing the film's central themes of autonomy, justice, and ethical responsibility. The resolution is carefully staged to provide closure while leaving space for contemplation, emphasizing the consequences of violence and the potential for personal liberation. The concluding scenes depict Raizo and Mika navigating the aftermath of their confrontation with the Ozuna clan. While the narrative resolves the immediate threats, it maintains a sense of realism regarding the long-term implications of their actions. Raizo's journey from a controlled assassin to a self-determined individual is visually and emotionally reinforced, with cinematography emphasizing open spaces and dynamic movement as metaphors for freedom and agency. Mika's continued role as a moral compass underscores the narrative's commitment to ethical reflection, highlighting that collaboration, intelligence, and moral judgment remain vital even in a world defined by violence. As Ninja Assassin progresses, the film carefully structures its narrative around escalating action sequences interwoven with character development, giving audiences both spectacle and insight into the psychology of its protagonists and antagonists. One of the early sequences in Berlin, after Raizo's initial escape from the Ozuna clan, demonstrates the tension inherent in his new life. Operating outside the strictures of the clan, Raizo is still hunted by those loyal to Lord Ozuna. This tension is heightened through urban chase scenes, where Raizo's skill, agility, and cunning are juxtaposed with the relentless determination of his pursuers. These sequences are meticulously choreographed, employing multi-angle cinematography that captures both the verticality of Berlin's architecture and the intensity of close-quarters combat. Environmental interactions, walls, staircases, narrow alleyways, and rooftops, are not merely backgrounds but integral elements in the choreography, showcasing Raizo's adaptability and mastery over his surroundings. Supporting characters play a vital role in enriching the narrative and providing contrast to Raizo's morally complex journey. Mika Coretti serves as the moral anchor and investigative counterpart, but secondary characters like Takeshi, a lethal enforcer for the Ozuna clan, exemplify the dangers of absolute loyalty. Takeshi's confrontations with Raizo are not only physically demanding but psychologically charged, representing the ideological conflict between those who adhere to dogma without question and those who break free to forge their own path. Similarly, Ryan Maslow, Mika's superior at Europol, provides insight into the bureaucratic and institutional challenges faced by law enforcement when dealing with covert, highly skilled adversaries. Even minor characters, such as the teenage trainees and clan members Raizo encounters in flashbacks, contribute to the film's thematic layering, illustrating the cycle of indoctrination, loyalty, and rebellion that drives the narrative. The film's midsection is dominated by sequences that blend investigative tension with martial arts spectacle. Mika's uncovering of financial trails and coded communications within international political structures adds layers of realism and stakes beyond personal revenge. These sequences often parallel Raizo's physical confrontations, emphasizing the dual nature of threat, one institutional and cerebral, the other immediate and corporeal. The editing in these segments balances rapid cuts during combat with slower, deliberate pacing during investigative work, providing narrative clarity while maintaining tension. As the film approaches its climax, the fight choreography reaches its zenith. The confrontation between Raizo and multiple Ozuna assassins in a high-rise building is executed with breathtaking precision. Each sequence within the fight is crafted to reveal character traits, moral choices, and the consequences of past actions. Raizo's approach to combat is disciplined yet innovative, often using the environment creatively to overcome adversaries. The antagonists, although highly skilled, are ultimately constrained by their rigid adherence to the clan's principles, providing a thematic contrast that underscores the narrative's exploration of free will versus dogma. The final battle with Lord Ozuna culminates in a visually dramatic and morally resonant confrontation, where Raizo's personal growth and mastery of both martial and ethical dimensions are fully realized. The film's international release strategy contributed to its commercial performance and cultural reach. Premiering in the United States on November 25, 2009, Ninja Assassin was subsequently released in multiple territories across Europe, Asia, and the Americas. Its co-production between the United States and Germany facilitated a European shooting location and enhanced distribution potential. The international cast, particularly Rain's presence as a South Korean star, also bolstered appeal in Asian markets, highlighting the increasingly globalized nature of action cinema. Box office reports indicate a worldwide gross of approximately $61 million, surpassing its estimated production budget of $30 million and marking it as a moderate financial success. These numbers reflect both the niche appeal of martial arts-focused action films and the capacity of genre cinema to perform globally when coupled with strategic casting and production design. Critical reception, while mixed, provides further insight into the film's impact and areas of distinction. Reviewers consistently praise the choreography, visual style, and kinetic energy of fight sequences, noting that Raizo's fluid movements and innovative combat tactics elevated the film above standard action fare. Conversely, some criticism was directed at perceived weaknesses in narrative depth, character development, and dialogue, suggesting that the film prioritized spectacle over dramatic nuance. Audience response, particularly among fans of martial arts and high-intensity action cinema, was generally positive, appreciating both the technical precision of fight sequences and the thematic exploration of loyalty, revenge, and personal autonomy. Online review aggregators reflect this dichotomy, indicating a divergence between critical and audience reception while highlighting the enduring appeal of visually compelling action sequences. The film's home media release further solidified its cultural footprint. DVD and Blu-ray editions, released in March 2010, included supplemental materials such as behind-the-scenes footage, interviews with Rain and the director, and insights into stunt choreography and martial arts training. These features provided audiences with a deeper understanding of the extensive preparation required to produce high-caliber action sequences and the collaborative efforts of stunt coordinators, martial artists, and cinematographers. For enthusiasts of martial arts cinema, these insights reinforced appreciation for the authenticity and skill involved in crafting the film's signature sequences. Ninja Assassin also contributed to ongoing discussions about the intersection of ethics and violence in cinema. The film deliberately frames Raizo's actions within a moral context, emphasizing the consequences of his choices rather than depicting violence as gratuitous spectacle. Each confrontation and act of vengeance is narratively justified, reflecting both personal ethical codes and a broader thematic exploration of freedom from oppressive structures. By integrating these moral considerations with high-intensity action, the film distinguishes itself from more conventional action fare and encourages viewers to consider the implications of skill, loyalty, and revenge. Cultural resonance is another noteworthy aspect of the film's legacy. By combining Eastern martial arts traditions with Western filmmaking techniques, Ninja Assassin exemplifies a transnational approach to genre cinema. The inclusion of Sho Kosugi, a veteran of classic 1980s ninja films, provides historical continuity, bridging earlier cinematic portrayals with contemporary reinterpretations. Rain's casting also represents a strategic engagement with global pop culture, reflecting the influence of K-pop and international stardom on Hollywood productions. These elements collectively underscore the film's hybrid identity, blending homage to genre conventions with modern technical innovation and international appeal. The film's enduring influence within the action and martial arts genres can be observed in subsequent productions that adopt similar stylistic and thematic approaches. Its emphasis on meticulously choreographed fight sequences, integration of contemporary urban settings, and exploration of moral complexity in violent narratives set a benchmark for future action films. Directors and choreographers studying Ninja Assassin often cite its combination of visual dynamism, character-driven conflict, and ethical framing as a model for balancing spectacle with narrative depth. Ultimately, Ninja Assassin serves as both a thrilling action spectacle and a study in narrative tension, character psychology, and cultural fusion. Through the lens of Raizo's journey, from indoctrination and brutal training to self-realization and moral autonomy, the film explores fundamental questions of loyalty, vengeance, and personal freedom. Mika Coretti's investigative arc complements and amplifies these themes, grounding the narrative in a framework of law, strategy, and moral reasoning. The interplay of action, narrative, and thematic content positions the film as a distinctive work within its genre, offering audiences not only adrenaline-fueled sequences but also a nuanced exploration of human motivation and ethical choice. The film's opening sequence immediately establishes both the intensity and philosophy of the Ozuna clan. It begins with a young Raizo being separated from his family, thrust into a grim, isolated compound hidden in the mountains. The camera lingers on the austere architecture of the compound, narrow corridors, stone walls, and training arenas stripped of any comfort or warmth. The visual design here is significant. It communicates that the environment itself is a tool of conditioning, shaping the physical and psychological development of its occupants. Raizo is subjected to his first combat training against other children, where each strike and block is not only a test of skill but also a means of instilling fear, obedience, and ruthlessness. This opening serves as a microcosm of the Ozuna philosophy: survival demands suppression of empathy, and mastery is measured by efficiency in executing violence. The cinematography captures these sequences with stark contrasts, shadows, and low-key lighting, emphasizing both the literal and symbolic darkness enveloping the young trainees. Kiriko's presence within the training sequences introduces a humanizing element. Unlike the other children, she maintains a sense of morality and compassion, subtly resisting the psychological control of the clan. Her quiet acts of defiance, helping weaker trainees, offering words of encouragement, create a stark contrast to the relentless discipline imposed by the Ozuna. Her bond with Raizo develops gradually, communicated largely through gestures, shared experiences, and a few whispered conversations. This understated storytelling technique allows viewers to feel the depth of their connection without relying on heavy exposition. When Kiriko is ultimately executed, the scene is choreographed and shot to maximize emotional impact: close-up shots of Reizo's face, a lingering focus on Kiriko's final moments, and a musical score that combines traditional Japanese strings with subtle electronic undertones all work together to create a sense of irreversible loss. This event catalyzes Reizo's transformation and establishes the central emotional stakes of the film. The film's middle sequences emphasize Reizo's life as an adult assassin. Here, the choreography becomes increasingly complex, blending hand-to-hand combat, acrobatics, and multi-enemy engagements. One notable sequence occurs in an industrial warehouse, where Raizo faces 3 elite clan members simultaneously. The choreography employs continuous long takes that follow Reizo's movements, emphasizing his agility and strategic use of the environment. He uses walls for running kicks, swinging chains for strikes, and shuriken for ranged attacks. Each action is carefully staged to maintain clarity despite the high-speed combat. The sound design amplifies each strike with realistic impact sounds, enhancing the visceral intensity. These sequences illustrate not just Reizo's physical skill but his cognitive adaptability. He anticipates opponents' moves, exploits weaknesses, and improvises using the environment, reflecting a mind as honed as his body. Secondary characters also gain depth during these sequences. Takeshi's presence as Reizo's rival is continuously felt through subtle framing and choreography choices. Takeshi is rarely confronted directly in the initial sequences, but his shadow or distant observation serves to create tension. Mika Coretti, while less physically involved, influences the narrative through intelligence gathering and strategic decision-making. Her scenes often juxtapose Reizo's violent encounters with careful investigation, creating a dynamic interplay between action and exposition. The contrast between Reizo's raw physicality and Mika's cerebral approach provides balance, reinforcing the film's theme that survival requires both strength and intellect. From a production standpoint, the film's commitment to authenticity is evident in the use of practical sets, detailed props, and location choices. Berlin's urban landscapes offer a gritty realism for chase sequences, while custom-built sets replicate traditional Japanese architecture for clan headquarters and training arenas. Each location is designed to serve both narrative and choreographic needs. Corridors and staircases are strategically planned to allow complex fight movements, while elevated walkways and rooftops provide dynamic verticality to action sequences. Costume design emphasizes functionality. Raizo's attire is form-fitting yet flexible, allowing maximum movement, while the clan members wear uniforms that convey hierarchy and discipline. Props such as katanas, shuriken, and ropes are meticulously crafted to ensure safety during stunts while maintaining authenticity. Musically, the film blends electronic textures with traditional instruments to reinforce both tension and emotion. Percussive beats synchronize with fight sequences, accentuating strikes, flips, and weapon impacts. During quieter, reflective moments, Japanese strings and flutes underscore Raizo's inner conflict, creating a sonic bridge between the historical context of ninja training and the modern setting of the narrative. The sound design ensures that environmental cues, footsteps, metal clashes, ambient city noise, immerse the audience in Raizo's world. This careful integration of sound and music heightens both intensity and emotional resonance, making the film a holistic sensory experience. The climax of Ninja Assassin is a masterclass in combining narrative, choreography, and visual storytelling. Raizo confronts Lord Ozunu and the remaining elite assassins in the mountain fortress. The sequence begins with stealthy infiltration, using shadows, smoke, and narrow corridors to build tension. Raizo dispatches enemies with precision, each kill choreographed to reflect both his lethal skill and his strategic intelligence. The final battle with Ozunu is particularly symbolic. Raizo's fluid, adaptive style contrasts with Ozunu's rigid, disciplined movements, emphasizing the clash between freedom and authoritarian control. Close-up shots, slow-motion sequences, and dynamic angles capture the physicality of the combat, while music swells to amplify emotional stakes. When Raizo finally defeats Ozunu, the scene is framed to signify both closure and liberation, with the destruction of the fortress symbolizing the collapse of the oppressive system. Internationally, Ninja Assassin was marketed to highlight its unique blend of Eastern martial arts and Western cinematic techniques. Trailers emphasized Raizo's acrobatic combat, the dramatic use of weapons, and the dark aesthetic of the clan's world. Promotional campaigns focused on Rain's physical performance, appealing to both martial arts enthusiasts and fans of stylized action cinema. While the box office performance in the U.S. was moderate, international reception was stronger, particularly in markets with an established interest in martial arts and action films. Over time, the film achieved cult status, praised for its choreography, production design, and innovative blending of traditional ninja lore with modern narrative structures. Culturally, the film contributed to the continued popularity of ninja-themed media. It demonstrated that martial arts films could merge spectacle with narrative depth, influencing subsequent productions in both Hollywood and international cinema. The attention to authentic combat choreography, combined with high production values and a globally appealing lead actor, set a benchmark for action films seeking to integrate traditional fighting techniques with contemporary cinematic language. Raizo's character became emblematic of a new kind of action hero, skilled, morally complex, and emotionally resonant, rather than a one-dimensional invincible figure. The major fight sequences in Ninja Assassin are meticulously constructed to illustrate Raizo's mastery, the philosophy of the Ozunu clan, and the escalating stakes of the story. One of the earliest sequences, set in a narrow Berlin alley, introduces audiences to Raizo's lethal skill set. Here, he confronts multiple assassins simultaneously, seamlessly combining hand-to-hand combat, acrobatics, and weapon utilization. Each strike is deliberate, each evasion calculated, reflecting his years of rigorous training and internal discipline. The choreography emphasizes precision and efficiency, demonstrating not only Raizo's skill but also the deadly logic of the clan's philosophy. Environmental elements such as wet pavement, puddles, and walls are incorporated into the fight, turning the urban landscape into an active participant in the action. The camera moves dynamically, following Raizo's motions with fluid tracking shots while occasional slow motion captures the artistry and impact of individual strikes, creating a visceral cinematic experience that balances realism with stylization. As the film progresses, the confrontation with Takashi serves as a pivotal moment both physically and emotionally. This duel takes place in a dimly lit, cavernous warehouse, providing a dramatic backdrop for the clash of ideologies. Takashi embodies unwavering loyalty to the Ozuna clan, his movements rigid and disciplined, a physical manifestation of the clan's control. In contrast, Raizo's combat style evolves with his growing autonomy. His strikes are adaptive, inventive, and responsive to his surroundings. The fight itself is highly strategic, each ninja anticipates the other's moves, deflecting attacks while exploiting weaknesses. Weaponry plays a central role, with Raizo using his Kusarigama to control space and disarm opponents while Takashi wields traditional swords with precision. The duel highlights the thematic tension of obedience versus moral independence, framing the physical struggle as a narrative reflection of internal and ethical conflict. By the conclusion of this encounter, Raizo's victory signifies not only his superiority in combat but also his emergence as an independent agent capable of defining his own moral path. The climactic confrontation with Lord Ozuna escalates both in spectacle and thematic weight. This duel occurs within the Ozuna Temple, a compound perched atop a remote mountain and filled with ceremonial architecture that underscores the clan's centuries-old traditions. Here, Raizo must confront the embodiment of the oppressive system that shaped his entire life. The choreography integrates multiple layers, hand-to-hand combat, swordplay, and the use of chains and acrobatics to navigate the environment. Raizo engages in aerial maneuvers, swinging across ceremonial pillars and vaulting over elevated platforms, demonstrating the full extent of his agility and mastery of the clan's techniques. Lord Ozuna's fighting style contrasts sharply, methodical, controlled, and steeped in authority. It represents the rigidity and indoctrination that Raizo has rejected. The visual composition of the scene, enhanced by dramatic lighting, shadow play, and rain-slicked surfaces, amplifies the tension and reinforces the symbolic struggle for autonomy and moral agency. Every blow is imbued with narrative significance, culminating in Raizo's ultimate triumph, which simultaneously destroys the clan's oppressive hierarchy and provides emotional closure for his character arc. Beyond Raizo, supporting characters contribute depth and dimension to the story. Mika Coretti operates as the narrative's moral anchor, embodying courage, intellect, and empathy. Her investigative work at Europol intersects with Raizo's path, creating opportunities for both character development and plot progression. Mika's determination contrasts with Raizo's violent upbringing, highlighting the possibility of moral clarity and human connection even within a world dominated by secrecy and bloodshed. Takashi, by remaining loyal to the clan, serves as a foil to Raizo, illustrating the consequences of rigid obedience and the potential moral stagnation inherent in unquestioning loyalty. Minor characters, such as the tattoo master, other trainees, and Europol operatives, enrich the narrative by providing perspective on Raizo's skills, the clan's influence, and the broader societal impact of the events. Even the fleeting presence of characters like Kiriko, whose death triggers Raizo's rebellion, underscores the human cost of the clan's ideology, providing emotional stakes that drive the story forward. Filming these sequences presented a range of logistical and technical challenges. Stunt coordination required precise choreography and timing, especially when multiple performers interacted in high-speed combat or wire-assisted acrobatics. Safety protocols were critical, yet the desire for authenticity demanded that actors, particularly Rain, perform many stunts themselves. Practical effects, including pyrotechnics, weapon strikes, and blood splatter, were integrated with computer-generated imagery to enhance visual impact while maintaining realism. The production design supported these efforts, providing environments that were both visually striking and conducive to complex combat. Rain's commitment to performing physically demanding sequences added credibility and intensity, further grounding the film's stylized action in tangible physicality. Ninja Assassin's box office performance was notable for its international appeal. Released on November 25, 2009, in the United States, it strategically targeted the Thanksgiving holiday period to maximize exposure. While the domestic reception was moderate, the film achieved stronger results in international markets, particularly in Asia and Europe, where martial arts films have traditionally enjoyed dedicated audiences. Critical reception was mixed. Reviewers praised the choreography, Rain's performance, and the film's visual style but critiqued the narrative for its relative simplicity and predictable plot. Despite these criticisms, the film developed a dedicated fan base, celebrated for its authentic combat, stylistic energy, and exploration of ninja mythology within a contemporary context. Its influence has persisted in the action genre, inspiring filmmakers to incorporate similar stylistic flourishes, hyperkinetic combat sequences, and cross-cultural casting in subsequent productions. Thematically, the film delves into the psychological and ethical dimensions of violence. Raizo's journey illustrates the tension between indoctrination and autonomy, showing how individuals shaped by oppression can reclaim agency and moral clarity. The Ozuna clan represents the dangers of unquestioned authority, rigid discipline, and the suppression of individuality, while Raizo's rebellion symbolizes resistance, personal growth, and ethical self-determination. Mika's presence as a moral and investigative lens emphasizes the humanistic dimension of the narrative, highlighting compassion, empathy, and the pursuit of justice in contrast to Raizo's violent upbringing. The interplay between these elements elevates the film beyond its action spectacle, embedding philosophical and ethical considerations within its high-octane sequences. Culturally, Ninja Assassin exemplifies the globalization of Hollywood action cinema in the early 21st century. Casting Rain, a South Korean performer, as the lead reflected both the commercial potential and artistic ambition of incorporating international talent into mainstream productions. The film's aesthetic blends Eastern martial arts traditions with Western cinematic conventions, creating a hybrid visual language that resonates across cultural contexts. Its thematic concerns, loyalty, moral responsibility, personal freedom, are universally relatable, while its stylistic choices, including hyper-stylized combat and dynamic cinematography, appeal to global audiences seeking both spectacle and narrative engagement. The film's impact on subsequent martial arts and action films is evident in its emphasis on intricate choreography, character-driven action, and cross-cultural storytelling. In terms of legacy, Ninja Assassin continues to be referenced for its contributions to modern action cinema. Its choreography and production design are studied as examples of blending authentic martial arts with cinematic stylization. The casting of an international lead helped pave the way for greater diversity in action films, demonstrating that audiences are receptive to non-Western actors in leading roles. The film also showcased the potential for high-intensity, visually driven action films to explore ethical and psychological themes, influencing subsequent filmmakers seeking to integrate narrative depth into action-oriented projects. While not universally acclaimed upon release, its enduring popularity among martial arts enthusiasts and action aficionados attests to its technical achievements, storytelling ambition, and cultural resonance. Finally, the combination of narrative, action, visual style, and cultural significance solidifies Ninja Assassin as a landmark in early 21st century action cinema. Raizo's journey from indoctrination to autonomy, his battles against both human and systemic adversaries, and his eventual triumph over oppression create a story that is simultaneously thrilling and thought-provoking. The film's technical achievements, including choreography, wirework, cinematography, and sound design, establish a high standard for action filmmaking, while its cultural and thematic dimensions ensure lasting relevance. Ninja Assassin stands as a testament to the possibilities of blending martial arts authenticity with cinematic spectacle, offering audiences both adrenaline-fueled excitement and moral engagement, and leaving a lasting mark on the genre. Ninja Assassin operates on multiple thematic levels, blending high-octane action with explorations of morality, identity, loyalty, and the consequences of absolute power. At its core, the film is a meditation on the struggle between autonomy and indoctrination. Raizo's upbringing in the Ozuna clan symbolizes a rigid, authoritarian system that demands unquestioning obedience. The clan's strict codes, lethal training, and ritualized discipline serve as metaphors for oppressive structures, whether societal, institutional, or ideological. Every element of the narrative, from Raizo's forced participation in executions to the psychological conditioning of young trainees, underscores the tension between conformity and personal freedom. His eventual rebellion is not simply a narrative device for action sequences but a symbolic assertion of moral and existential agency. By framing Raizo's physical battles as extensions of his internal struggle, the film elevates martial arts combat from spectacle to a form of philosophical storytelling. The relationship between Raizo and Mika Coretti functions as a thematic counterbalance. Mika embodies law, order, and moral clarity, contrasting with the Ozuna clan's violent, immoral ethos. Their partnership reflects the necessity of cooperation between individual skill and ethical judgment. Thematically, Mika represents the possibility of guidance, partnership, and human connection as tools for navigating a chaotic and dangerous world. Her investigative work contextualizes the clan's actions within larger societal structures, illustrating how secrecy, power, and corruption extend beyond isolated groups. The film uses her presence to remind audiences that morality is active and deliberate, not inherent, and that choices must be evaluated in light of consequences for both oneself and others. Symbolism permeates the visual and narrative aspects of the film. The use of shadows, tight framing, and contrasting light serves as a metaphor for Raizo's journey from darkness into autonomy. Early scenes are dominated by enclosed, dimly lit training chambers that visually reinforce the suffocating constraints of the Ozuna system. In contrast, the open urban landscapes of Berlin, often captured with wide-angle shots and dynamic camera movement, signify freedom, possibility, and the complexity of the external world. The filmmakers intentionally juxtapose these visual motifs to reflect Raizo's evolution from a disciplined, controlled weapon into a self-aware individual capable of moral choice. The repeated imagery of flight, whether through rooftops, alleyways, or industrial structures, functions symbolically as well, representing escape not only from physical threat but from ideological captivity. Weaponry and martial arts techniques are also loaded with symbolic meaning. The shurikens, swords, and hand-to-hand combat techniques serve as extensions of the character's philosophy and psychological state. Raizo's mastery of these tools represents both discipline and agency, whereas Takashi and other loyalists' use of similar weapons without moral consideration underscores the consequences of blind adherence. The choreography of combat is intentionally designed to convey character development, with each strike, dodge, and maneuver reflecting emotional and ethical dimensions rather than purely physical skill. Even in sequences of graphic violence, the filmmakers use composition, pacing, and framing to convey narrative and thematic significance, transforming combat into a visual language of morality, resistance, and transformation. Music and sound design play critical roles in reinforcing the film's thematic and emotional elements. Ilan Eshkeri's score integrates traditional Asian musical motifs with contemporary orchestral arrangements, reflecting the film's cross-cultural aesthetic. The score punctuates moments of tension, enhances emotional beats, and underscores the rhythm of fight sequences. Sound design complements the score, with carefully layered effects that emphasize impact, motion, and environmental interaction. The swish of weapons, the reverberation of strikes against metal or stone, and the ambient noises of urban and interior spaces create an immersive auditory landscape. This combination of music and sound transforms action sequences from simple spectacle into a multisensory narrative experience, enhancing both engagement and understanding of character psychology. Another thematic element of the film is the exploration of loyalty and betrayal. The Ozuna clan operates on a principle of absolute obedience, punishing dissent with lethal consequences. Raizo's internal conflict arises from the tension between this imposed loyalty and his innate sense of justice and empathy. The execution of Kiriko exemplifies the moral cost of blind obedience, serving as a catalyst for Raizo's moral awakening. Subsequent confrontations with Takashi and other loyalists reinforce this theme, presenting audiences with a spectrum of responses to authority, submission, manipulation, defiance, and ethical reflection. These interactions deepen the narrative, making the film more than an action spectacle by framing violence and combat as extensions of philosophical and ethical inquiry. The film also explores the consequences of violence, both immediate and long-term. While martial arts sequences are stylized and kinetic, the filmmakers do not shy away from portraying injury, risk, and mortality. This realism emphasizes that each act of combat carries weight, reinforcing the stakes and moral implications of Raizo's journey. By depicting consequences, the narrative underscores the central tension between the efficiency of violence and the human cost, elevating the story beyond simple revenge fantasy into a meditation on responsibility and consequence. Ninja Assassin's thematic richness is further enhanced by its attention to environmental and cultural context. The use of Berlin as a primary location introduces a modern, globalized aesthetic, contrasting with the ancient martial traditions of the Ozuna clan. This juxtaposition reflects the intersection of tradition and modernity, illustrating how historical and cultural legacies persist and adapt in contemporary settings. Urban landscapes function as both playgrounds and battlegrounds, offering opportunities for both creativity in choreography and symbolic resonance. The architecture, streets, and industrial sites of Berlin are carefully integrated into the action, providing spatial variety and reinforcing the thematic exploration of freedom, constraint, and adaptation. Cinematography, music, sound, and choreography converge to create an immersive thematic tapestry. The film consistently links physical movement to moral choice, environmental awareness, and psychological state. Whether Raizo is leaping across rooftops, engaging in hand-to-hand combat, or navigating a labyrinthine urban setting, each action is embedded with symbolic and narrative significance. This deliberate integration transforms each sequence into a study of cause and effect, highlighting the interplay between skill, decision-making, and ethical responsibility. Even moments of respite, such as conversations between Raizo and Mika, are carefully staged to balance tension, provide narrative context, and allow reflection on preceding events. In terms of narrative structure, the film uses a classical rise-fall-rise trajectory, beginning with Raizo's rigorous training and the psychological oppression of the Ozuna, moving through his escape and escalating confrontations, and culminating in the climactic showdown with Lord Ozuna. This arc reinforces the thematic emphasis on personal growth, moral choice, and liberation. Each act of violence, flight, and confrontation is structured to reflect internal and external stakes, ensuring that the audience experiences both visceral excitement and narrative satisfaction. By embedding philosophical and ethical considerations within the action, Ninja Assassin elevates itself above conventional genre expectations, offering a layered and thought-provoking cinematic experience. In addition to Raizo and Mika, the film introduces several minor characters who, while not central to the plot, serve important narrative and thematic functions. Characters such as teenage Raizo trainees, Kiriko in her youth, and members of the Ozuna clan provide both exposition and emotional depth, illustrating the breadth and complexity of the ninja world. For instance, young trainees undergoing the same brutal conditioning as Raizo highlight the cyclical nature of indoctrination and the dehumanizing aspects of rigid martial hierarchies. These characters, often in the background of key sequences, remind the audience of the personal costs exacted by the clan system and the stakes inherent in Raizo's rebellion. Even minor adversaries, whose screen time may be limited to a single fight, are portrayed with distinct physicality and narrative purpose, emphasizing the omnipresent threat of the clan and the constant tension that drives the story. The film's fight sequences deserve in-depth attention, as they represent the core of Ninja Assassin's visual and narrative identity. One notable scene is the confrontation in a subway station, where Raizo faces multiple assassins in a confined, vertical space. The sequence begins with stealth and observation, as Raizo uses shadows, environmental obstacles, and improvised weapons to neutralize threats methodically. The choreography balances realistic martial arts with cinematic exaggeration, allowing for dynamic camera angles that track movement, spins, and acrobatic maneuvers. The use of confined space adds a psychological layer, demonstrating Raizo's adaptability and resourcefulness while emphasizing the dangers inherent in close-quarters combat. This fight, like many others, serves dual purposes, providing visual excitement while reinforcing narrative themes of skill, discipline, and ethical engagement with violence. Another sequence that stands out is the rooftop battle against the Ozono assassins. Here, Raizo's agility, parkour ability, and mastery of traditional weapons are highlighted. The sequence employs long tracking shots interspersed with rapid cuts to convey both speed and precision. Cinematically, the filmmakers leverage Berlin's architectural environment, using ledges, staircases, and gaps between buildings to create tension and spectacle. The choreography is precise, each movement meticulously planned to balance plausibility and visual impact. Sound design reinforces the intensity, with footsteps, impacts, and ambient city noises synchronized with Raizo's movements, enhancing audience immersion. Minor antagonists, such as Takashi and other loyalists of Lord Ozono, are often portrayed with individualized combat styles that reflect both their training and their adherence to the clan's principles. Takashi, for instance, combines calculated strikes with psychological intimidation, serving as a foil to Raizo's more adaptable and morally conscious approach. These encounters are not merely physical but ideological, dramatizing the central conflict between unyielding loyalty and ethical autonomy. The film consistently uses combat to reveal character, making each fight sequence a narrative tool that advances both plot and thematic development. The technical aspects of the film, including cinematography, lighting, and sound design, are integral to its success. Cinematographer David Tattersall utilizes a combination of handheld and stabilized shots to convey both immediacy and controlled choreography. The use of shadow, contrast, and selective focus enhances the clandestine nature of the ninja operations, while strategic lighting underscores mood shifts, whether in tense confrontations, reflective moments, or sequences of quiet observation. The film's editing, particularly during fight sequences, maintains clarity despite rapid movement, ensuring that audiences can follow complex maneuvers without losing narrative coherence. Sound design and music work in tandem with visual elements to heighten emotional and physical tension. The percussive, rhythmically aligned score underscores Raizo's movement during action sequences, while ambient city sounds contextualize the urban setting. Moments of silence or minimal sound are strategically employed to emphasize suspense or moral introspection. This integration of sound and image contributes to a fully immersive cinematic experience, aligning technical mastery with narrative intent. Thematically, Ninja Assassin explores several interrelated motifs. Loyalty and obedience are examined critically, portraying the Ozono clan as both a repository of ancient knowledge and a coercive system that suppresses individuality. Raizo's journey represents the tension between inherited duty and personal moral responsibility, highlighting the ethical challenges of escaping institutionalized violence. Vengeance, while a motivating force, is depicted with nuance. Raizo's actions are framed by ethical considerations, distinguishing calculated justice from unreflective aggression. The interplay between personal ethics and systemic corruption is further emphasized through Mika's perspective, illustrating how institutional structures intersect with individual agency. Symbolism also permeates the film, particularly through visual motifs. Raizo's black ninja garb represents both his training and the moral ambiguities of his world, while the recurring use of shadows and confined spaces symbolizes both physical danger and psychological constraint. Urban environments, with their verticality and labyrinthine layouts, metaphorically reflect the complexity and unpredictability of navigating moral and ethical challenges. Weaponry, from traditional swords to improvised tools, functions symbolically as extensions of skill, discipline, and ethical choice. The film's legacy is evident in its contribution to contemporary martial arts cinema. By combining rigorous action choreography, international casting, and stylistic visual storytelling, Ninja Assassin demonstrates the potential for genre hybridity, blending Eastern martial arts traditions with Western narrative frameworks. It has inspired subsequent action films to prioritize both narrative complexity and visual spectacle, emphasizing moral and psychological dimensions alongside combat proficiency. The film's success in home media and streaming platforms further underscores its enduring appeal, particularly among audiences seeking action films that balance excitement with thematic depth. In conclusion, Ninja Assassin, 2009, is a multifaceted work that transcends conventional action cinema through its meticulous choreography, psychological depth, and thematic richness. Raizo's journey from indoctrination to moral autonomy, alongside Mika's investigative perspective, creates a layered narrative that examines loyalty, vengeance, and personal ethics within a high-stakes, visually compelling framework. The integration of technical mastery in cinematography, editing, sound design, and fight choreography ensures that the film is both aesthetically engaging and narratively coherent. Its global production, international casting, and engagement with martial arts traditions highlight its transnational significance, cementing its place as a distinctive entry in the canon of action and martial arts cinema. Ultimately, the film's impact lies not only in its thrilling fight sequences and visual spectacle but also in its exploration of the human capacity for ethical choice, resilience, and transformation within oppressive systems. Ninja Assassin invites audiences to consider the costs of loyalty, the consequences of violence, and the potential for self-determination, all while delivering a cinematic experience defined by intensity, precision, and artistry. Its enduring appeal is a testament to the careful balance of action, narrative, and thematic complexity achieved by its creators, ensuring that it remains a reference point for both filmmakers and fans of martial arts and action cinema alike. The making of Ninja Assassin was as ambitious as the story it sought to tell. Filming primarily took place in Berlin, Germany, where the production team was able to leverage both historic architecture and modern industrial settings to craft a world that felt simultaneously grounded and otherworldly. Berlin's combination of open urban spaces, narrow alleyways, and sprawling industrial complexes provided the ideal canvas for the high-speed chases and elaborate fight sequences that dominate the film. The production designers worked meticulously to create the Ozuna clan's fortress, blending traditional Japanese architectural motifs with an almost labyrinthine interior designed to maximize the tension and spectacle of Raizo's infiltration. Each hallway, stairwell, and ceremonial chamber was carefully constructed to allow for acrobatic movement, enabling Rain and the stunt team to execute complex sequences involving flips, wall climbs, and synchronized strikes. Rain's preparation for the role was intense and exhaustive. Already trained in Taekwondo and martial arts from his career in South Korea, he underwent several months of specialized training in ninjutsu techniques, swordplay, and acrobatics under the guidance of veteran martial arts choreographers. This preparation was crucial, as the filmmakers wanted Raizo to move with the lethal precision and grace of a true ninja. The stunts were often performed without CGI assistance, giving the fight scenes a palpable sense of realism despite their stylized presentation. The choreography, designed to balance spectacle with believability, drew inspiration from both classical ninja films of the 1980s and contemporary action cinema, creating a hybrid style that was unique to Ninja Assassin. One of the film's defining features is its use of stylized violence. Unlike traditional Hollywood action films that tend to imply injury, Ninja Assassin revels in hyper-realistic depictions of combat. Shuriken, swords, and blunt weapons are shown connecting with precision, often resulting in dramatic, blood-splattered sequences. These moments, while shocking, serve to underline the brutality of the world Raizo inhabits and the consequences of the Ozuna clan's philosophy. The filmmakers intentionally made the violence graphic as a storytelling device, emphasizing the stakes of every confrontation and the danger inherent in betraying such a powerful organization. Beyond the action, the film explores complex character dynamics. Raizo's relationship with the Ozuna clan is central to the narrative. While the clan serves as a symbol of oppression, it is also depicted as a family, albeit a twisted and abusive one. The duality of the clan, providing a sense of belonging while simultaneously enforcing absolute control, adds depth to Raizo's motivations. His eventual rebellion is not merely a quest for vengeance, it is a moral awakening, a rejection of indoctrination, and a reclaiming of his humanity. Mika Coretti, the Europol investigator, is equally important to the narrative, though her development is subtler. She embodies rationality, persistence, and moral courage. Her encounters with Raizo force him to confront the human consequences of his actions, introducing an emotional counterpoint to the relentless physicality of the story. The interplay between Raizo's calculated lethality and Mika's investigative determination creates a narrative tension that drives the film beyond mere spectacle. The film also examines the concept of identity within the context of extreme conditioning. Raizo's journey can be interpreted as a study in psychological resilience. Having been raised to suppress emotion, empathy, and individuality, his eventual decision to break free and choose his own path represents a reclamation of self. The psychological intensity of this journey is mirrored in the physical rigor of the action sequences, making each fight scene a symbolic reflection of internal struggle. Supporting characters, though less prominent, are carefully designed to enrich the narrative world. Rick Yoon's character, Takashi, serves as a foil to Raizo, a reflection of what Raizo could have become if he had remained loyal to the clan. The tension between them adds layers to the narrative, offering insight into the clan's influence on its operatives. Ben Miles' Ryan Maslow represents institutional power and the rule of law, contrasting with the chaotic and morally ambiguous world of the ninjas. The interplay of these characters allows the film to explore a variety of moral and ethical perspectives, illustrating the complex dynamics at play in a world dominated by clandestine power structures. The film's cinematography contributes significantly to its atmosphere. Cinematographer Declan Quinn employed a dark, rain-soaked palette to evoke a sense of danger, mystery, and foreboding. Urban sequences are lit with sharp neon contrasts, while the interiors of the Ozuna fortress are shadowy and claustrophobic, heightening tension and emphasizing Reizo's isolation. Camera movements are often fluid and kinetic during action sequences, tracking the rapid movements of the actors and enhancing the visual spectacle. Slow-motion shots are employed strategically to highlight critical moments of combat or emotional realization, giving the audience time to absorb both the physical and symbolic implications of the action. The soundtrack, composed by Elon Eshkari, complements the visual style with a fusion of electronic and orchestral elements. Pulsing rhythms and dramatic crescendos amplify the intensity of fight sequences, while quieter, reflective passages underscore Reizo's moments of introspection and vulnerability. This combination of audio and visual storytelling reinforces the immersive experience, allowing the audience to feel both the adrenaline of combat and the emotional weight of the narrative. The production process was not without challenges. Coordinating complex stunts, ensuring actor safety, and maintaining continuity during sequences that involved multiple cameras, wires, and physical effects required meticulous planning and execution. The stunt team worked closely with the director and cinematographer to ensure that every movement served both the narrative and the visual spectacle. Additionally, the film's international production required careful coordination between American and German crews, combining resources, talent, and technical expertise to achieve a cohesive final product. Upon release, Ninja Assassin provoked varied critical responses. Some reviewers celebrated the film's dedication to martial arts authenticity, praising Rain's performance and the intricate choreography of the fight sequences. Others criticized the narrative for prioritizing action over character development or subtle storytelling. Nonetheless, the movie established itself as a significant contribution to the modern martial arts genre, appealing particularly to audiences seeking visually dynamic and physically intense action films. The commercial performance of Ninja Assassin was solid, earning approximately $80 million worldwide against a $40 million budget. The film performed particularly well in markets with strong martial arts followings, demonstrating the enduring appeal of ninja mythology when presented through a contemporary cinematic lens. The cultural resonance of the film extends beyond its immediate entertainment value. By depicting a secretive, ancient order operating within the modern world, Ninja Assassin explores themes of institutional power, control, and resistance. The Ozuna clan can be seen as a metaphor for any organization that demands absolute conformity, while Reizo's rebellion embodies the human desire for autonomy and moral agency. These themes, though embedded within a high-action context, provide a framework for deeper reflection on ethics, loyalty, and personal choice. The visual and thematic symbolism in the film is rich. Reizo's weaponry, particularly the katana and shuriken, is more than functional, it represents both his training and the weight of the clan's expectations. Rain's mastery of these weapons, combined with the cinematographic techniques, turns every combat scene into a narrative statement about discipline, skill, and the struggle for freedom. The recurring motif of rain serves as a metaphorical cleansing, symbolizing both the physical and emotional battles Raizo faces as he navigates a world built on violence and secrecy. Another layer of depth comes from the integration of traditional ninja philosophy with modern action tropes. The filmmakers sought to honor the mystique of ninja mythology while updating it for contemporary audiences. Concepts such as stealth, discipline, and honor are juxtaposed with urban espionage, technology, and political intrigue, creating a hybrid narrative that bridges historical and modern storytelling traditions. The use of flashbacks and nonlinear narrative techniques further enriches the audience's understanding of Raizo's psyche. By revealing his childhood trauma gradually, the film builds empathy for a character whose actions might otherwise seem cold or merciless. These narrative choices also create tension and anticipation, allowing viewers to experience the story alongside Raizo as he confronts both external enemies and internal conflict. As the climax approaches, the convergence of Raizo, Mika, and Europol agents highlights the interplay of personal vendetta and institutional justice. The final assault on the Ozuna fortress is a showcase of cinematic craftsmanship, combining practical stunts, visual effects, and coordinated choreography to create sequences that are both spectacular and narratively satisfying. The final confrontation between Raizo and Lord Ozuna is emblematic of the film's thematic core: the struggle between oppression and liberation, loyalty and self-determination, past trauma and personal growth. In conclusion, Ninja Assassin is more than a standard action movie. It represents a careful synthesis of martial arts tradition, cinematic innovation, and psychological depth. Through its protagonist's journey, it examines complex questions about identity, morality, and resilience, all while delivering visually compelling and emotionally charged action. Its enduring appeal lies in its ability to balance spectacle with story, offering audiences both the thrill of high-intensity combat and the satisfaction of a narrative about personal empowerment and liberation from tyranny. Secondary characters in Ninja Assassin provide essential texture to the narrative, creating a world that feels expansive and interconnected. Mika Coretti, as a Europol investigator, is more than just a companion to Raizo, she embodies the moral compass of the story. Her meticulous research into the series of political assassinations orchestrated by the Ozuna clan uncovers a network that spans continents, linking organized crime, government corruption, and the ancient traditions of ninja assassins. Mika's intelligence, resourcefulness, and courage are highlighted in sequences where she evades capture, deciphers hidden messages, or helps Raizo navigate hostile environments. She is not merely a damsel in distress but an active participant in shaping the narrative's trajectory, illustrating the film's commitment to multidimensional female characters, even within an action-driven context. Takashi, Raizo's rival and former peer in the Ozuna training, serves as the perfect narrative foil. His unwavering loyalty to the clan highlights the consequences of unchallenged indoctrination. Takashi's presence throughout the film is subtle yet pervasive. He appears as both shadow and threat, often anticipating Raizo's moves, creating tension without immediate confrontation. Their climactic battles are designed not only for physical spectacle but to reflect ideological conflict. Each strike, parry, and maneuver conveys the tension between disciplined obedience and the reclaiming of personal autonomy. Takashi's final confrontation with Raizo is particularly striking, as it synthesizes months of training, mutual history, and personal rivalry into a dynamic, emotionally charged duel. The choreography emphasizes fluidity and strategy, demonstrating that martial skill is inseparable from psychological acuity. Supporting antagonists within the Ozuna clan also contribute to narrative depth. These characters, though often less developed individually, serve to reinforce the omnipresent threat posed by the organization. Each assassin encountered by Raizo represents both a physical and philosophical challenge. Their attacks force him to employ not only martial prowess but also improvisation, intelligence, and ethical judgment. The film emphasizes that survival in this world is not simply a matter of skill, it requires moral and strategic discernment, highlighting Raizo's evolution from a trained weapon to a thinking, emotionally responsive individual capable of nuanced decisions in high-stakes situations. The remaining action sequences are carefully staged to escalate tension while exploring character development. One particularly notable scene occurs during the Europol facility infiltration, where Raizo must protect Mika from a coordinated assassination attempt. The choreography integrates close-quarters combat with environmental interaction. Raizo uses hallways, staircases, and office equipment strategically, showcasing his adaptability. Mika contributes by providing real-time information about enemy positions, exemplifying the synergy between intellect and physical prowess. The sequence culminates in a rooftop chase, blending parkour elements with traditional martial arts, and concludes with a high-stakes confrontation that solidifies Raizo's commitment to both justice and protection of innocents. This scene exemplifies the film's ability to combine visceral spectacle with narrative significance, ensuring that every fight serves both story and character development. From a production perspective, the filmmakers placed heavy emphasis on authenticity and technical precision. Sets were constructed to accommodate complex choreography, allowing stunt performers to execute acrobatic movements safely while maintaining cinematic clarity. Weapons and props were carefully crafted, balancing historical accuracy with practical safety considerations. Rain's extensive training ensured that most sequences could be performed without digital doubles, lending the action a palpable realism. The cinematography employed a combination of dynamic camera movement, slow motion, and tight framing to maximize tension and clarity, particularly during sequences with multiple adversaries. These production choices not only enhanced the visual spectacle but reinforced narrative and thematic elements, making every frame purposeful. The soundtrack, composed by Paul Haslinger, reinforces the film's tonal duality. Electronic beats accompany urban action sequences, emphasizing speed, intensity, and modernity, while traditional Japanese instruments underscore reflective moments and flashbacks to Reizo's training. This blending of musical styles mirrors the film's narrative synthesis of Eastern and Western elements. Percussive rhythms highlight combat strikes, while ambient tones and orchestral swells amplify suspense and emotional resonance. Sound design integrates environmental sounds with musical cues, immersing the audience in the film's tense, high-stakes world. Each auditory element is carefully synchronized with visual storytelling to reinforce narrative clarity, emotional engagement, and kinetic intensity. Upon release, Ninja Assassin received mixed critical reception. Many reviewers praised its commitment to authentic martial arts choreography, Rain's physical performance, and the innovative visual style. Critics highlighted the practical stunt work as a standout element, noting that the film elevated action sequences beyond mere spectacle by integrating them meaningfully with character arcs and thematic concerns. However, some criticism was directed at narrative predictability, the limited development of certain supporting characters, and moments of dialogue that felt expository or simplistic. Despite these critiques, the film resonated with audiences interested in martial arts cinema and stylized action, securing a dedicated fan base and achieving lasting recognition for its technical achievements. Box office performance was moderate, with stronger reception internationally than domestically. The film found particular success in markets with an established interest in martial arts films, leveraging Rain's international celebrity to attract viewers. While it did not achieve blockbuster status, its influence has endured within the genre, demonstrating that films combining disciplined choreography, authentic physical performance, and compelling visual storytelling can achieve cultural resonance even without record-breaking financial returns. The film's long-term popularity underscores its status as a reference point for subsequent action-oriented productions that seek to balance spectacle, narrative, and thematic depth. The legacy of Ninja Assassin is evident in its impact on both martial arts cinema and broader action filmmaking. It popularized a style that integrates traditional combat techniques with modern cinematic conventions, emphasizing authenticity, choreography, and narrative significance. Reizo's character became emblematic of a new type of action hero, skilled, morally complex, and emotionally resonant, capable of navigating both physical and ethical challenges. The film's emphasis on practical effects, realistic fight sequences, and detailed production design influenced subsequent action films, encouraging directors to prioritize craftsmanship alongside spectacle. Moreover, its blending of Eastern and Western cinematic traditions helped bridge cultural gaps, introducing global audiences to a nuanced portrayal of ninja mythology while maintaining universal themes of autonomy, morality, and resilience. In retrospect, Ninja Assassin can be appreciated as a layered, multifaceted work that transcends its surface-level action spectacle. Its narrative explores the consequences of indoctrination, the moral implications of violence, and the struggle for personal autonomy in a system designed to suppress individuality. Through Raizo's journey, the film interrogates the tension between survival, ethical responsibility, and emotional reclamation. Its visual style, fight choreography, and sound design work in concert to immerse audiences fully in this world, creating a cinematic experience that is both thrilling and thematically resonant. Secondary characters such as Mika Coretti and Takashi enhance narrative complexity, providing relational, ideological, and ethical dimensions that elevate the film beyond simple action tropes. Ninja Assassin remains a significant entry in the canon of martial arts cinema, celebrated for its commitment to authenticity, choreographic excellence, and integration of thematic depth with visceral action. It demonstrates that action films can simultaneously entertain, provoke thought, and explore complex psychological and moral landscapes. Its influence persists in contemporary cinema, where filmmakers continue to draw inspiration from its synthesis of traditional martial arts, modern choreography, and sophisticated production techniques, reaffirming its place as a benchmark for stylized action storytelling. Ninja Assassin, 2009, is an American-German martial arts action film directed by James McTeague and produced by Joel Silver along with Lana and Lily Wachowski. A collaboration between Warner Bros., Dark Castle Entertainment, Legendary Pictures, and Silver Pictures, the film blends traditional ninja lore with modern cinematic action. Its global vision is evident in casting the South Korean superstar Rain as Raizo, a highly trained ninja who rebels against the oppressive Ozuna clan, and Naomie Harris as Mika Coretti, a determined Europol investigator drawn into the world of clandestine assassins. The story centers on Raizo, orphaned and taken in by the Ozuna clan, a secretive ninja organization known for centuries of covert assassinations. Under the brutal rule of Lord Ozuna, Raizo undergoes rigorous physical and mental training designed to suppress emotion and create the perfect weapon. Witnessing the execution of Kiriko, a young trainee he cares for, catalyzes Raizo's moral awakening. Years later, as a master assassin, Raizo rejects the clan's brutality and becomes a rogue agent, setting off a deadly pursuit. Parallel to Raizo's rebellion, Mika Coretti investigates a string of mysterious killings, inadvertently uncovering the Ozuna clan's operations. Her path crosses with Raizo's when the clan targets her for elimination. Raizo saves her, and together they attempt to expose the clan and survive its relentless assassins. Their alliance highlights the moral contrast between Raizo, shaped by violence but capable of redemption, and Mika, guided by justice, empathy, and law. Raizo's confrontations with his former clan members, particularly Takashi and ultimately Lord Ozuna, serve as both action spectacles and narrative devices. Early battles in urban streets establish his lethal skill, while duels in confined, dimly lit spaces highlight strategic thinking and moral tension. The climactic showdown at the mountaintop Ozuna Temple combines aerial acrobatics, weapon mastery, and dramatic cinematography, symbolizing Raizo's liberation from oppression. Every strike and maneuver reflects his training, creativity, and ethical evolution, illustrating how physical conflict is inseparable from narrative and thematic development. The supporting cast strengthens the story's emotional and moral framework. Mika represents moral clarity, empathy, and humanistic values. Takashi embodies unwavering loyalty, highlighting the psychological grip of indoctrination. The tattoo master provides guidance and insight, emphasizing the balance of skill, ethics, and strategy in combat. Even minor characters, including other trainees and Europol operatives, contribute to world building, showing both the reach of the Ozuna clan and the consequences of its secretive operations. Rain's dedication to his role was crucial to the film's authenticity. He underwent months of martial arts, stunt, and weapon training to convincingly portray Raizo's skill and agility. Wire-assisted acrobatics were seamlessly integrated with practical stunts and CGI to allow gravity-defying maneuvers, while fight choreography emphasized flow, precision, and strategic thinking. Weapons such as the kozurigama, swords, and shurikens were used creatively, serving as extensions of Raizo's character and tools to advance both action and narrative. The production design reinforced the film's thematic contrasts. Urban settings in Berlin appear cold, wet, and dangerous, reflecting Raizo's external threats, while the Ozunu clan's temple compound evokes ritual, secrecy, and oppression. Lighting, shadows, and reflections were carefully employed to create an noir-inspired aesthetic, and cinematographer David Tattersall used dynamic tracking shots, slow motion, and high-contrast framing to highlight the choreography and narrative tension. Sound design and Klaus Badelt's score further enhanced the film, synchronizing with combat sequences and punctuating key emotional moments with rhythm, silence, and environmental effects. Marketing highlighted Rain's international star power and the film's distinctive action style. Trailers and posters emphasized high-energy combat, dark urban environments, and Raizo's weapon mastery, appealing to martial arts enthusiasts and mainstream audiences alike. Released in the United States on November 25, 2009, the film performed moderately at the domestic box office but found stronger international appeal, particularly in regions with dedicated martial arts audiences. Critically, reviews were mixed. Choreography, visual style, and Rain's performance were praised, while narrative simplicity and action-heavy reliance were noted as weaknesses. Despite this, the film achieved a cult following, celebrated for its technical skill, visual energy, and reinterpretation of ninja mythology for modern cinema. Thematically, Ninja Assassin explores autonomy, moral responsibility, and the consequences of indoctrination. Raizo's journey from obedient assassin to independent moral agent embodies resistance against oppressive systems and the potential for ethical awakening. Mika's character reinforces the humanistic perspective, showing the importance of empathy, justice, and moral clarity. The Ozunu clan serves as a metaphor for rigid authority and the suppression of individuality, highlighting the tension between control and personal freedom. The film's action sequences, narrative arcs, and visual style are tightly interwoven with these philosophical concerns, demonstrating that spectacle can coexist with thematic depth. The cultural impact of Ninja Assassin lies in its successful blending of Eastern martial arts traditions with Western blockbuster filmmaking. Casting Rain showcased the commercial and artistic potential of international actors in Hollywood, while the film's choreography and visual style influenced subsequent action films that sought to combine stylistic violence with narrative significance. Its focus on ethical and psychological dimensions of violence, alongside adrenaline-driven combat, demonstrated the potential of martial arts cinema to engage audiences both viscerally and intellectually. In conclusion, Ninja Assassin stands as a landmark example of early 21st century action filmmaking. Raizo's transformation from a trained killer to an autonomous agent, the stylistic mastery of fight choreography, and the visual and thematic sophistication of the film collectively create a cinematic experience that is thrilling, emotionally resonant, and culturally significant. While its narrative simplicity may have limited critical acclaim, its technical achievements, memorable performances, and enduring influence on martial arts cinema ensure its lasting legacy as a high-water mark in modern action storytelling. The film exemplifies how martial arts, narrative, and ethical exploration can converge to create a work that is both exciting and meaningful, securing its place as a notable achievement in international action cinema. Upon its release on November 25, 2009, Ninja Assassin entered a competitive marketplace dominated by major holiday releases, yet it managed to secure moderate financial success. The film's production budget was estimated at around $30 million, a relatively modest sum compared to blockbuster action films of the era. In its opening weekend in the United States, the film grossed approximately $14 million, debuting at number 4 at the box office. While not a blockbuster hit, this performance demonstrated a solid audience interest, particularly among fans of martial arts, action cinema, and visually stylized combat sequences. Internationally, the film performed variably, with stronger showings in European markets such as Germany, where the urban filming locations and co-production elements generated additional local interest. Worldwide, Ninja Assassin amassed roughly $61.6 million in total gross, doubling its production budget and establishing itself as a financially viable, if not spectacular, release. Comparisons to contemporary martial arts and action films illustrate the challenges Ninja Assassin faced. Unlike high-profile franchises such as The Bourne Ultimatum, 2007, or Iron Man, 2008, which combined high production values with mass-market appeal, Ninja Assassin occupied a niche within the action genre, targeting audiences who prioritized choreography, stylized violence, and kinetic spectacle. Its financial performance reflects this positioning. While not a mainstream blockbuster, the film succeeded in reaching a dedicated segment of action enthusiasts who value technical combat authenticity and inventive visual sequences. This outcome underscores the enduring market for martial arts-focused cinema, particularly when fused with modern urban settings, innovative cinematography, and cross-cultural talent. Critical reception, however, was mixed and often skewed negative, reflecting the ongoing tension between narrative depth and spectacle in action films. Aggregated review scores indicate a moderate to low critical consensus, with some reviewers highlighting the film's thin plot, reliance on graphic violence, and limited character development as notable weaknesses. Critics frequently observed that the narrative's philosophical and ethical dimensions, while present, were overshadowed by the relentless emphasis on action sequences. Despite these criticisms, many acknowledged the film's technical proficiency, particularly the intricacy of the fight choreography, Rain's physical performance, and the stylistic cinematography that visually elevated the combat scenes. The film's ability to maintain tension, pacing, and visual engagement was widely recognized as a strength, demonstrating that even heavily action-oriented films can achieve narrative coherence through skillful direction and editing. Audience reception often contrasted with critical appraisal. Fans of martial arts and action cinema praised the film's commitment to authentic combat techniques, inventive choreography, and visually striking set pieces. Online communities, forums, and fan sites frequently engaged in detailed discussions about Raizo's fighting style, weapon usage, and the technical execution of key sequences. Viewers appreciated the film's willingness to depict consequences, injuries, and risk within the action, emphasizing the realism and stakes of combat. Mika Coretti's role, as a capable and intelligent female lead, also received recognition from audiences who valued her active contribution to the narrative, reinforcing the film's appeal beyond pure spectacle. Regional variations in reception reveal interesting trends. In Germany, where significant portions of the film were shot, audiences responded favorably to the depiction of local urban environments, adding a sense of authenticity and relatability. In Asian markets, particularly South Korea, Rain's global pop culture status contributed to heightened interest and engagement, drawing audiences who may not typically engage with Western action films. These dynamics highlight the importance of cross-cultural casting and location selection in influencing both marketing potential and audience reception. Additionally, the film's stylized violence and fast-paced editing appealed to younger demographics, particularly viewers in the 18 to 34 age range who are traditionally drawn to action-intensive cinema. Reviews from prominent critics illustrate the polarized response. Some praised the film's kinetic energy, technical choreography, and visual inventiveness, noting that the martial arts sequences were among the most sophisticated in contemporary Hollywood productions. Others criticized the narrative's lack of depth, pointing out that character arcs and ethical dilemmas were underdeveloped relative to the intensity of the action. Many acknowledged Rain's performance, recognizing his combination of martial arts skill, screen presence, and emotional restraint, while noting that supporting characters occasionally lacked sufficient development to fully engage audiences. The soundtrack and sound design also received acclaim for enhancing the immersive experience, particularly in sequences where music, ambient noise, and environmental sound cues were intricately synchronized with combat movements. Home media release further extended the film's reach and reception. The March 2010 DVD and Blu-ray editions included additional content such as behind-the-scenes featurettes, commentary tracks, and deleted scenes, offering insight into choreography, stunt coordination, and creative decisions. This supplemental material deepened audience engagement and provided context for the technical and narrative choices made during production. Home media performance contributed significantly to the film's overall revenue, highlighting the importance of secondary distribution channels in sustaining the economic viability of mid-budget action films. In terms of audience discourse, Ninja Assassin sparked conversations about the ethics of violence, loyalty, and personal agency. Discussions on fan forums frequently explored Raizo's moral choices, the consequences of blind obedience within hierarchical systems, and the balance between entertainment and ethical storytelling in action cinema. The film became a reference point in analyses of modern martial arts films, particularly regarding the integration of traditional techniques with contemporary filmmaking technology, urban settings, and cross-cultural narratives. These conversations underscore the film's lasting resonance, even among viewers who initially criticized its narrative simplicity. Marketing campaigns leveraged both visual spectacle and cross-cultural appeal to maximize audience interest. Trailers emphasized Raizo's extraordinary agility, the stylized violence, and the relentless pursuit by the Ozuna clan, framing the narrative as a high-intensity, visually driven experience. Promotional materials highlighted Rain's casting, capitalizing on his existing global fanbase, while posters and advertising emphasized the film's kinetic energy, urban settings, and moral stakes. The marketing effectively communicated the film's unique combination of martial arts authenticity and modern cinematic style, appealing to both domestic and international audiences. From a broader perspective, Ninja Assassin's performance, reception, and marketing demonstrate the complex dynamics of mid-budget action cinema in a globalized market. Its moderate box office success, mixed critical response, and dedicated fanbase illustrate the challenges and opportunities inherent in producing films that straddle niche genre appeal and mainstream accessibility. The film's influence extends beyond immediate financial metrics, contributing to ongoing discussions about the integration of ethical storytelling, visual spectacle, and technical proficiency within action-oriented cinema. One of the most striking aspects of Ninja Assassin is the sheer ambition and complexity of its fight sequences, which function not only as spectacles of martial arts but as extensions of the character's psychological journeys. The film opens with Raizo as a child, being inducted into the Ozuna clan. This sequence is both visually stunning and narratively essential, establishing the brutal environment in which he is raised. The young trainees undergo a series of rigorous exercises, ranging from agility drills to endurance tests, all under the watchful eye of Lord Ozunu and his lieutenants. The training is deliberately harsh, incorporating elements of pain, deprivation, and extreme discipline, reflecting the clan's philosophy that only the most ruthless and detached individuals can survive as assassins. These early scenes are choreographed with precision, highlighting the contrast between the innocence of the children and the violence that surrounds them. As Raizo matures, the film showcases his transformation from a talented yet obedient student to a fully realized assassin capable of extraordinary feats. One of the first sequences that demonstrates his skill as an adult occurs when he is ordered to carry out an assassination that tests his speed, stealth, and precision. This scene is shot using a combination of handheld cameras and wide-angle lenses, allowing the audience to feel immersed in Raizo's movement. The choreography is intricate, involving flips over obstacles, silent takedowns, and the clever use of the environment as a weapon. This early demonstration of his abilities foreshadows the extreme action that will dominate the latter half of the film. The assassination sequences themselves are highly stylized. Raizo's use of weapons, particularly the katana and shuriken, is portrayed with meticulous attention to detail. Each strike, throw, and block is designed to be both visually impressive and narratively meaningful, reflecting the precision and discipline instilled in him by the Ozuna clan. The filmmakers employed a combination of practical effects, stunt work, and computer-generated enhancements to create sequences that feel both grounded and cinematic. Blood and injury are depicted explicitly, reinforcing the lethal consequences of the martial techniques and grounding the action in reality despite its stylized presentation. Parallel to Raizo's narrative is the story of Mika Coretti, whose investigation serves as the audience's anchor to the outside world. Mika's first encounter with Raizo occurs after a series of failed assassination attempts, during which she narrowly escapes death. These sequences are shot with rapid cuts and dynamic camera angles, conveying a sense of urgency and danger. The contrast between Mika's investigative approach and Reizo's lethal precision highlights the different skill sets and perspectives each character brings to the unfolding narrative. Supporting characters such as Takashi, Reizo's former rival, and Ryan Maslow, the Europol agent, add depth to the story. Takashi embodies the path Raizo might have followed had he remained loyal to the clan. Their confrontations are charged with tension, as each encounter is not only physical but also symbolic of their diverging choices. The choreography emphasizes the balance between agility, strategy, and psychological warfare, with each fight revealing aspects of the character's inner conflicts. Ryan Maslow, by contrast, represents law, structure, and the institutional response to the clandestine operations of the Ozuna clan. His interactions with Mika and Raizo provide exposition and context for the broader implications of the assassinations, grounding the film's narrative in a recognizable political and investigative framework. The climax of the film, the assault on the Ozuna fortress, is perhaps the most complex sequence in terms of coordination and execution. The production team constructed a multi-level set that allowed for simultaneous action in various zones, hallways, rooftops, ceremonial chambers, and outdoor terraces. Stunt performers and actors moved seamlessly between these areas, executing coordinated sequences that required precise timing and choreography. The sequence begins with stealthy infiltration, gradually escalating into open combat against waves of elite ninja operatives. The combination of practical effects, wirework, and CGI allowed for visually spectacular set pieces, including flips from high ledges, mid-air weapon strikes, and acrobatic dodges. Cinematographically, the sequence employs rapid cuts, slow-motion shots, and varied camera perspectives to maintain clarity and impact despite the complexity of the action. Beyond the physical spectacle, the assault serves as a narrative culmination, bringing together themes of revenge, liberation, and moral confrontation. Reizo's journey is symbolically represented in each combat encounter. Every defeated opponent is not merely an obstacle but a reminder of his past, his training, and the oppressive philosophy he is rejecting. The final duel with Lord Ozuna, in particular, is choreographed to emphasize contrast, Reizo's fluid, adaptive style against Ozuna's rigid, traditional approach. The battle is staged in a ceremonial hall, echoing the environment seen in Reizo's childhood, creating a full-circle narrative moment that reinforces the story's themes of growth and emancipation. The supporting cast's performances enhance the emotional weight of the film. Naomie Harris brings a sense of grounded determination to Mika Coretti, portraying intelligence, bravery, and vulnerability without overshadowing the central action. Her interactions with Raizo humanize him, reminding the audience that beneath his lethal exterior lies a person capable of moral choice and emotional response. Sho Kosugi's portrayal of Lord Ozuna combines menace with a sense of ritualistic authority, providing a compelling antagonist whose presence commands attention even in scenes where he is not actively engaged in combat. The technical aspects of production are equally noteworthy. The lighting design employs chiaroscuro techniques to create depth, shadow, and visual tension, while color palettes distinguish between different narrative spaces. The cold, urban settings of Europe contrast with the dim, ceremonial interiors of the Ozuna fortress. Sound design is integral to the immersive experience, with every weapon strike, footfall, and environmental sound meticulously layered to heighten realism and engagement. The film's editing rhythm complements the choreography, alternating between rapid cuts during intense combat and longer takes during moments of reflection, balancing adrenaline and narrative clarity. Another significant feature of Ninja Assassin is its integration of cultural and historical elements. While the story is largely fictional, it draws upon classical ninja mythology and martial arts traditions. The film references ancient Japanese weaponry, training philosophies, and stealth techniques, presenting them in a context that is accessible to contemporary audiences. This blending of tradition and modernity allows the film to appeal to both martial arts enthusiasts and general action film viewers. In terms of production logistics, coordinating international crews and actors presented challenges that the filmmakers addressed through careful planning and rehearsal. Scenes requiring complex stunt coordination were pre-visualized and choreographed in advance, ensuring both safety and narrative coherence. Wirework sequences, high-speed camera setups, and extensive set modifications were employed to achieve the desired visual impact while maintaining consistency with the story's logic. The reception of Ninja Assassin highlights the varied ways audiences interpret action cinema. While some critics focused on the film's graphic violence as a detracting factor, many praised its dedication to authentic martial arts representation, visual inventiveness, and commitment to narrative themes of personal empowerment. Fans of martial arts cinema appreciated the film's attention to detail in choreography, weapon handling, and combat strategy, recognizing the skill and preparation invested in each sequence. Commercially, the film performed well in markets where martial arts films traditionally find a strong audience, reflecting the enduring global appeal of ninja narratives. Beyond immediate entertainment, the film has been analyzed for its thematic depth, particularly its exploration of freedom versus control, morality in a violent world, and the reclaiming of identity after indoctrination. Raizo's transformation serves as an allegory for personal growth under oppressive circumstances, offering a lens through which viewers can consider the impact of societal structures and personal choice on individual development. The combination of visual spectacle, psychological complexity, and thematic resonance ensures that Ninja Assassin occupies a unique space in early 21st century action cinema. It bridges traditional martial arts storytelling with modern cinematic techniques, creating a film that is both entertaining and thought-provoking. Its legacy can be seen in subsequent action films that attempt to combine authentic martial arts choreography with character-driven narratives, demonstrating the influence of Ninja Assassin on the evolution of the genre. Ninja Assassin, 2009, is an American-German martial arts action film directed by James McTeague and produced by Joel Silver with Lana and Lily Wachowski. A high-octane blend of modern action and traditional ninja mythology, the film stars South Korean superstar Rain as Raizo, a highly skilled ninja who rebels against the secretive Ozuna clan, and Naomie Harris as Mika Coretti, a determined Europol investigator who becomes entangled in the clan's deadly operations. The film was produced by Warner Brothers, Dark Castle Entertainment, Legendary Pictures, and Silver Pictures, combining Western cinematic techniques with Eastern martial arts traditions. The narrative follows Raizo, who was orphaned and forcibly inducted into the Ozuna clan, a centuries-old organization training assassins for covert operations. Under the strict guidance of Lord Ozuna, the clan's authoritarian leader, Raizo undergoes brutal training that strips him of innocence and emotions, creating a lethal weapon of obedience. The turning point occurs with the death of Kiriko, a young trainee he cared for, whose execution by the clan motivates Raizo to break free and forge his own path. As Raizo becomes a rogue agent, he is relentlessly pursued by his former clan, setting the stage for intense action and moral confrontation. Parallel to Raizo's story, Mika Coretti investigates a series of unexplained murders linked to the Ozuna clan. Her intelligence, perseverance, and moral clarity contrast with Raizo's violent upbringing, creating a dynamic where justice and personal redemption intersect. Their alliance is crucial to the story, humanizing Raizo and providing both narrative tension and emotional grounding amid the film's stylized violence. Action sequences are central to the film's identity. Raizo's combat style is a hybrid of martial arts disciplines, including Taekwondo, Kung Fu, and Ninjutsu, enhanced with weapons such as the Kozurigama, shurikens, and swords. Early fights in urban Berlin streets introduce Raizo's lethal skill, combining acrobatics, hand-to-hand combat, and strategic use of the environment. These sequences emphasize flow, precision, and adaptive strategy, making each confrontation both visually stunning and narratively significant. A notable duel with Takashi, a loyal rival, occurs in a shadowed warehouse. This fight emphasizes psychological tension, highlighting obedience versus independence, and demonstrates Raizo's growing moral and physical mastery. The climactic battle against Lord Ozuna at the clan's mountaintop temple represents both a physical and symbolic confrontation. Raizo navigates staircases, ledges, and ceremonial structures while engaging multiple opponents, showcasing acrobatics, weapon mastery, and adaptive combat. Ozunu's rigid, authoritarian style contrasts with Raizo's fluid, inventive approach, underscoring the thematic struggle between oppression and personal autonomy. The fight's choreography, lighting, and camera work amplify the tension and provide a visually striking conclusion to Raizo's journey. Supporting characters enrich the narrative. Mika Coretti serves as the moral compass, emphasizing empathy and justice. Takashi illustrates the dangers of unyielding loyalty to an oppressive system, while the tattoo master offers wisdom and guidance. Minor characters, including other trainees and Europol officials, enhance world-building and demonstrate the scope of the Ozuna clan's influence. Even Kiriko, though appearing briefly, has a profound impact on Raizo's motivations and moral awakening. Production was extensive and physically demanding. Rain trained for months in martial arts, stunt work, and weapon handling to perform many of his stunts authentically. Wire-assisted acrobatics allowed gravity-defying maneuvers, integrated seamlessly with practical effects and CGI. Cinematography employed dynamic tracking shots, slow motion, and high-contrast lighting to showcase both the elegance and brutality of combat. Berlin's urban environment and the Ozuna Temple provided contrasting backdrops, emphasizing the thematic dichotomy of chaos versus disciplined ritual. The score by Klaus Badelt, along with layered sound effects, enhanced the tension, rhythm, and emotional impact of each scene. The film was released on November 25, 2009, in the United States, strategically targeting the Thanksgiving weekend. While domestic box office performance was moderate, international markets responded strongly, particularly in Asia and Europe, where martial arts films have dedicated audiences. Critically, the film received mixed reviews. Praise centered on Rain's performance, fight choreography, and visual style, while criticism focused on narrative simplicity and action-heavy reliance. Despite this, it developed a cult following for its technical achievements, stylistic boldness, and modern reinterpretation of ninja mythology. Thematically, Ninja Assassin explores autonomy, moral responsibility, and the human cost of indoctrination. Raizo's transformation from a disciplined killer into a morally conscious agent highlights resistance against oppressive systems and the possibility of ethical redemption. Mika's role reinforces empathy and justice as guiding principles, while the Ozuna clan symbolizes rigid authority and moral corruption. The interplay between ethical themes and high-octane action distinguishes the film from conventional action thrillers, creating a layered viewing experience. Culturally, the film illustrates the globalization of Hollywood action cinema. Casting Rain as the lead demonstrated the commercial and artistic potential of international actors, while the blend of Eastern martial arts traditions and Western cinematic techniques created a hybrid style appealing to global audiences. Its focus on the ethical and psychological dimensions of violence, combined with visually spectacular fight sequences, influenced later action films that sought to balance narrative depth with stylistic spectacle. Ninja Assassin's legacy is multifaceted. Its choreography and technical execution are studied as exemplars of modern martial arts cinema. The film's international casting contributed to broader recognition of global talent in Hollywood action films. Its visual style, integration of narrative and combat, and thematic engagement with moral responsibility continue to inspire filmmakers seeking to elevate action sequences beyond mere spectacle. Raizo's journey from indoctrinated assassin to autonomous agent embodies a timeless narrative of personal freedom, ethical awakening, and redemption, ensuring the film's lasting relevance in the action genre. In summary, Ninja Assassin stands out as a high-intensity, visually dynamic, and thematically engaging action film. Its meticulous choreography, dynamic cinematography, emotionally resonant characters, and exploration of ethical themes elevate it beyond a standard martial arts movie. The combination of technical mastery, global casting, and narrative depth solidifies its place as a modern martial arts milestone, offering audiences both thrilling spectacle and meaningful storytelling. Raizo's story, Mika's moral clarity, and the oppressive presence of the Ozuna clan converge to create a cinematic experience that is simultaneously exhilarating, reflective, and culturally significant. Following its theatrical release, Ninja Assassin expanded its audience through home media distribution, which played a significant role in its financial and cultural reach. The film was released on DVD and Blu-ray in March 2010, offering audiences a chance to experience the movie beyond the cinema. These editions included a range of supplemental materials, such as behind-the-scenes featurettes, deleted and extended scenes, and commentary tracks from the director and key cast members. These features provided viewers with insight into the meticulous choreography, stunt coordination, and visual design that underpinned the film's action sequences. The commentary tracks, in particular, highlighted the creative vision of James McTeigue and the Wachowskis' influence, revealing the deliberate blending of martial arts tradition with modern cinematic techniques. By offering these additional layers of content, the home media release elevated the film from a standard action movie to an educational and entertainment resource for enthusiasts of filmmaking and martial arts. Merchandising efforts, while not as extensive as major franchises, capitalized on the film's visual style and the iconic appeal of Raizo as a central character. Posters, action figures, and promotional materials emphasized Raizo's sleek black ninja outfit, his distinctive weapons, and the dynamic energy of the fight sequences. These items reinforced the film's branding, appealing to fans of martial arts cinema and collectors of action-oriented memorabilia. The marketing strategy leveraged the visual identity of the film, dark, stylish, and kinetic, to create merchandise that resonated with the audience's fascination with skill, discipline, and combat artistry. While the merchandising did not reach the scale of superhero or long-standing franchise products, it effectively targeted the core demographic of action and martial arts enthusiasts. International distribution extended the film's reach and contributed significantly to its overall revenue. Ninja Assassin was strategically released in multiple countries across North America, Europe, and Asia, with localized marketing and subtitles or dubbing to ensure accessibility. In Germany, where key sequences were filmed, the film benefited from the recognition of local settings, attracting audiences interested in both the story and the cinematic portrayal of familiar urban environments. In South Korea, Rain's established celebrity status provided a unique draw, generating excitement and increasing viewership beyond traditional action film audiences. This cross-cultural appeal illustrates how strategic casting and filming locations can enhance a film's international marketability, providing financial and cultural dividends beyond the domestic release. Distribution strategies also included partnerships with streaming platforms and video-on-demand services, which emerged as important channels for mid-budget films during this period. By making the film available online, the producers ensured continued access for audiences who may have missed the theatrical run, while tapping into a growing segment of viewers who consume content primarily through digital platforms. The availability on streaming services also facilitated discussion, fan engagement, and academic analysis, allowing the film to maintain cultural relevance long after its initial release. This strategy reflects a broader industry trend toward leveraging home media and digital distribution to extend a film's lifecycle and reach diverse, global audiences. The film's international release schedule was staggered to maximize marketing effectiveness in different regions. Major European markets received the film shortly after the US debut, allowing promotional campaigns to capitalize on word-of-mouth and early critical reception. Asian markets, particularly those familiar with Rain's work, were targeted with tailored campaigns emphasizing both the action and the star appeal. This multi-tiered distribution approach illustrates how filmmakers can optimize visibility, revenue, and cultural impact by aligning release strategies with regional audience characteristics, preferences, and cultural touchpoints. The home media release also contributed to the long-term cultural footprint of Ninja Assassin. Fans and martial arts enthusiasts used the supplemental materials to study the choreography, training methods, and technical execution of fight scenes. Film students and aspiring filmmakers benefited from detailed behind-the-scenes insights, including explanations of camera setups, stunt coordination, and the integration of practical effects with wire work and minimal CGI. These educational aspects enhanced the film's legacy, positioning it not only as entertainment but also as a case study in modern action filmmaking that blends traditional martial arts techniques with contemporary cinematic innovation. Merchandising, combined with international distribution and home media, reinforced the film's visual and thematic identity. Raizo's black-clad figure, weapon mastery, and moral arc became recognizable symbols within the action genre, inspiring fan art, online discussion, and cosplay in conventions. Even minor elements, such as the stylized fight sequences and environmental settings, became points of reference for enthusiasts analyzing the evolution of martial arts films in the early 21st century. By creating a cohesive visual and narrative brand, the film extended its cultural reach and solidified its position as a modern martial arts action exemplar. In summary, the home media, merchandising, and international distribution of Ninja Assassin were strategically intertwined to maximize audience engagement, revenue potential, and cultural influence. The DVD and Blu-ray releases provided supplemental materials that enhanced understanding of the filmmaking process, while merchandise and promotional materials reinforced the visual identity of Raizo and the film's kinetic style. International distribution, facilitated through tailored campaigns and the leveraging of Rain's celebrity appeal, expanded the film's reach across multiple continents, ensuring both financial success and cultural resonance. The combination of these elements illustrates how mid-budget action films can achieve lasting impact through careful management of distribution channels, marketing strategies, and supplementary content, creating an ecosystem that sustains audience interest and scholarly engagement. Ninja Assassin, released in 2009, is a landmark martial arts action film that blends Eastern ninja mythology with Western-style action cinema, creating a unique spectacle that simultaneously appeals to fans of traditional martial arts films and modern high-octane Hollywood blockbusters. The film is a product of an international collaboration, with production roots in both the United States and Germany, and was directed by James McTeague, known for his meticulous visual style and precision in crafting cinematic tension, particularly through choreography and atmosphere. The Wachowskis, Lana and Lily, who are famous for their work on the Matrix trilogy, served as writers and producers on the project, bringing their signature approach to blending philosophical undertones with kinetic action sequences. Joel Silver, a veteran producer of action films, also lent his expertise, ensuring that the film's action and pacing adhered to the demands of modern audiences. With a budget estimated at $40 million, Ninja Assassin aimed to carve a distinct niche in a market increasingly hungry for stylized action that merges narrative depth with visual spectacle. The narrative revolves around Raizo, a young boy abducted by the Ozuna clan, a secretive and centuries-old ninja organization that operates in shadows across the globe. From the moment of his abduction, Raizo's life is stripped of normalcy and childhood innocence, replaced with rigorous and often brutal training designed to forge him into an unstoppable assassin. The clan's philosophy is ruthless. They believe that eliminating emotional attachment is necessary to produce the perfect killer. Every trainee undergoes a regimen of physical conditioning, combat instruction, and psychological manipulation, intended to erase individuality and instill unwavering loyalty to the clan. Within this harsh environment, Raizo forms a bond with Kiriko, a fellow trainee whose gentle spirit and desire for freedom make her an anomaly in a world built on obedience and violence. Her compassion offers Raizo a fleeting connection to humanity, planting the seeds of inner conflict that will define his later actions. The eventual betrayal and execution of Kiriko by the clan serve as the catalyst for Raizo's transformation from obedient weapon into rogue agent, driven by vengeance and a yearning for freedom from the oppressive grip of the Ozunu. Years later, Raizo has become a fully trained ninja, executing missions for the clan with lethal efficiency. Yet the memory of Kiriko and the injustice of her death remain etched in his consciousness. The story escalates when Raizo refuses a direct order to eliminate a target, marking him as a traitor in the eyes of the clan. This refusal sets in motion a relentless pursuit by his former comrades, who embody the lethal discipline of the Ozunu and who will not hesitate to hunt down one of their own. It is during this period that Raizo crosses paths with Mika Coretti, an intrepid Europol investigator whose research into a series of mysterious assassinations has begun to uncover the shadowy existence of the Ozuna clan. Mika represents not just an ally but also a connection to the outside world, a life of freedom and morality that stands in stark contrast to the oppressive structures that have defined Raizo's existence. Their alliance propels the narrative forward, as Raizo's survival becomes intertwined with the need to expose the truth behind the clan's operations and protect Mika from the lethal assassins dispatched to eliminate her. The film's action sequences are central to its identity, blending traditional martial arts choreography with modern cinematic techniques. Raizo's combat style is depicted as both fluid and brutal, emphasizing speed, precision, and the deadly utility of traditional ninja weapons such as swords, shuriken, and ropes. Unlike many contemporary action films that rely heavily on CGI and wirework, Ninja Assassin prioritizes practical stunts, with Rain, the lead actor, performing a significant portion of the physical combat himself. This authenticity heightens the impact of each fight scene, drawing the audience into the visceral immediacy of ninja combat. The cinematography complements these sequences, employing slow motion, dynamic camera angles, and tight framing to accentuate both the beauty and lethality of each maneuver. The use of CGI is deliberate and stylized, particularly in depicting blood effects and impact visuals, lending a hyperreal aesthetic that enhances the brutal nature of the confrontations without diminishing their narrative significance. Raizo's character is central not only as a fighter but as a psychological study of indoctrination and rebellion. From the beginning, he is portrayed as a child removed from his family and thrust into a rigid system designed to erase individuality. The film emphasizes the brutality of the Ozuna clan's methods. Children are isolated, beaten, forced to fight peers, and systematically deprived of affection, forming a crucible that creates a killing machine. The psychological conditioning is as intense as the physical training. Every trainee is taught to suppress pain, fear, and empathy. In Raizo, this creates an internal tension between instinctual human emotion and the relentless conditioning designed to eradicate it.